Welcome back to Daily Gossip, where we bring you the latest buzz in sports, entertainment, and everything in between. If you thought the NBA playoffs couldn't get any more intense, think again. Today, we've got a story that's not just about basketball, it's about drama, passion, and rivalry. We're diving into Tyrese Haliburton's bold statement, following the Pacers' fiery 129-103 victory over the Milwaukee Bucks in Game 4, which has set the NBA world on fire. Haliburton's comments have sparked a new conversation about the nature of rivalries in today's NBA, with him saying that the rivalries aren't dead and putting the league on notice. This game was much more than a typical playoff series. It was a full-fledged war on the court, and Tyrese Haliburton was at the center of it all. Stick around, hit that subscribe button, and don't miss out on any of the drama. As we break down what made this moment so unforgettable, Tyrese Haliburton is no stranger to being the center of attention. But in the 2025 NBA playoffs, the young Pacers star has truly arrived. As the Pacers continue their fight for supremacy in the Eastern Conference, Haliburton has proven to be the emotional and strategic leader the team needs. His performance in Game 4 was nothing short of spectacular, and his post-game comments were even more so, offering a fiery take on the state of rivalries in the NBA. It's clear that Haliburton's confidence isn't just about his skills on the court. It's also about his ability to stir up the emotions of his team, the fans, and the entire league. During Game 4, the Indiana Pacers gave the Milwaukee Bucks a lesson in playoff intensity. The game started with tension brewing, but it wasn't until the second half that things really started to heat up. Haliburton, ever the catalyst, was on fire from start to finish, but what really sent the message home was his leadership both on and off the court. As the Pacers built an insurmountable lead, Haliburton's energy and passion ignited his teammates, and they refused to let up. But let's not forget the big picture here. The Pacers didn't just win, they crushed the Bucks. The final score of 129-103 was a clear statement. They were ready to take this series. And Haliburton's fiery post-game declaration about the rivalry. It was no accident. This was a player who understood the gravity of the moment, who recognized that the Pacers were on the cusp of something special. In an era where rivalries in the NBA have been slowly fading away, where media narratives and superstars seem to focus more on personal branding than the emotions of competition, Tyrese Haliburton's words were like a breath of fresh air. Haliburton boldly declared, "Everybody says rivalries aren't in the league anymore. Well, it's right here." He wasn't just talking about the series or the game. He was talking about the pulse of the NBA itself, challenging the idea that the sport had lost the fire of rivalries past. The emotional intensity between the Pacers and the Bucks is undeniable. These two teams, once considered distant contenders, have now turned the series into a battle of wills. Game 4 was full of physicality, trash talk, and confrontations that had fans on the edge of their seats. For a brief moment, it felt like the old-school, no-holds-barred basketball had returned. The animosity between the teams was evident from the very beginning. Haliburton, ever the competitor, wasn't about to back down from Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks. From the moment the ball was tipped, the intensity of the game was palpable. But what made this game stand out was the incredible level of trash talk and physical play that went on. The Bucks, known for their toughness, met their match in the Pacers, who were ready to engage in every confrontation. On and off the ball, Haliburton's declaration that the rivalry is alive wasn't just about putting Giannis on blast, though it's clear that Haliburton and the Bucks have become the NBA's most unlikely and heated rivalry of the postseason. It was about something deeper. The return of the gritty, no-nonsense basketball. that the NBA has been missing for years. The Pacers' newfound energy, especially after a tough regular season, was on full display. It wasn't just about playing basketball. It was about proving a point. They weren't going to let anyone dictate their destiny. Not Giannis, not the Bucks, and certainly not the media narrative that the NBA had lost its competitive edge. Giannis Antetokounmpo has long been the face of the Milwaukee Bucks, the player who led them to an NBA championship in 2021 and solidified his status as one of the greatest players of this generation. But in Game 4, even the mighty Giannis couldn't prevent his team's downfall. With 28 points and 15 rebounds, Giannis played an exceptional game, but his efforts weren't enough to overcome the collective force of the Pacers' onslaught. Giannis's performance was valiant, but as the game wore on, the absence of star guard Damian Lillard began to weigh heavily on the Bucks' chances. Lillard, who had been pivotal to Milwaukee's success all season long, left the game early due to an Achilles injury. Without Lillard's scoring and playmaking, the Bucks' offense became one-dimensional, and they couldn't keep pace with the Pacers. For the Bucks, it was a crushing blow. The heart and soul of their team, Giannis, did everything he could, but without Lillard, the balance of the Bucks' game was disrupted. The Pacers capitalized on this, pushing their lead further and further with every possession. The defensive intensity from the Pacers was too much, and Haliburton's leadership was the key that unlocked their success. While much has been made about Giannis's heroics, there's no denying that Tyrese Haliburton was the heartbeat of the Pacers' success. Haliburton finished the game with an impressive stat line of 22 points, 12 assists, and 5 rebounds. But his impact was far greater than just the numbers. His ability to orchestrate the offense, keep his teammates engaged, and ignite the Pacers' defensive firepower made him the most important player on the court. Haliburton's vision and leadership have always been the foundation of his game, but in this series, he stepped up in a way that few players have during the postseason. His calm under pressure, coupled with his undeniable talent, makes him a player that the Pacers can rally around. Whether it's hitting clutch shots, making pinpoint passes, or just keeping his team focused and poised, Haliburton has proven that he's capable of carrying a team to new heights. But what makes Haliburton's impact so much more special in this series is his undeniable energy. In Game 4, when the tension between the Pacers and Bucks was at its peak, Haliburton channeled that intensity into something bigger. He didn't just play, he commanded the floor, rallying his teammates to dig deeper and play harder. With the Pacers now holding a 3-1 series lead, the Bucks find themselves in a difficult spot. The Pacers' dominant victory in Game 4 has given them the upper hand, and the Bucks will need to dig deep if they hope to extend the series. Game 5 will be a must-win for Milwaukee, but the absence of Damian Lillard leaves a major gap that the Bucks will struggle to fill. Can Giannis carry the team on his own? Or will the Pacers' well-balanced attack be too much for them? If Game 4 was any indication, this series is far from over. The Bucks have the talent, but the Pacers have the fire. And with Tyrese Haliburton leading the charge, it seems like the Pacers might just have the upper hand. If the rivalry between these two teams wasn't intense before, it certainly is now. The animosity, the drama, and the fierce competition have set the stage for what promises to be an unforgettable finish to this series. Tyrese Haliburton's fiery comments about the rivalry between the Pacers and Bucks have set the NBA world on fire. The intensity and emotion of this series are undeniable, and it's clear that Haliburton's leadership has been a driving force behind the Pacers' success. Whether you're a fan of the Pacers or the Bucks, one thing is for sure: This series is far from over, and it's shaping up to be one of the most intense and emotional matchups we've seen in years. Will the Bucks mount a comeback, or will the Pacers continue their rise to the top? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: this rivalry is real, and the NBA playoffs are as exciting as ever. That wraps up this exciting breakdown of the Pacers versus Bucks series and Tyrese Haliburton's impactful statement. Stay tuned to Daily Gossip for more updates on the NBA playoffs and all the latest drama from the world of sports. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay on top of all the action. Mini.